Hey, what's going on, YouTube? Hope everybody's doing well out there. If you guys haven't noticed, I'm here back in my semi truck. I haven't talked to you guys in a while, so you know what? I'm on my break. I'm um, waiting to get unloaded. So I said to myself, you know what? It's been a while. Let's turn on the camera and let's talk to the people out there. So I just want to first start off and say thank you guys always so much for always showing me support and love. I make videos to help you guys, and I wanted to make a video today. Hopefully it'll help somebody out there because, I've noticed that whenever you make YouTube videos, whenever you first post it online, the algorithm will initially push your videos out, and then your views, will go up, and then it'll taper off. But I noticed one video that I made late last year called, Should You Be a Truck Driver in 2025? And I noticed that it's still getting a lot of views. And I put two and two together. We all know that if you've seen my older videos, you know that I like to talk about economics, the economy, and I talked a lot about the job market and labor market, how it's horrendous right now, guys. The labor market, we're still seeing mass layoffs. Accenture is a big consulting company. They just laid off 11,000 people. Starbucks, we all know Starbucks. And if big coffee retailers like Starbucks are laying people off and closing stores, they announced that they're going to believe lay off around 1,000 corporate employees here in Seattle and close hundreds of stores nationwide. That tells you that the economy is not doing well, because guys, coffee, everybody drinks coffee in the United States, and for a major retailer to announce closures and layoffs, that is not a good indicator. So going back to what I was saying about my YouTube video, people cannot find jobs right now. And there's so many social media on TikTok. You'll see so many people complaining about how they can't find jobs right now. And I think that's the reason why people are looking for alternatives. And I think people are searching for how to become a truck driver, or should I become a truck driver in today's economy. And watching my video that I made last year, it's still getting a lot of views. So hopefully this video helps somebody out there. And should you become a truck driver? And I made that video last year. I had no idea the labor market in the economy was going to tank. Nobody knew the ramifications of all the tariffs and the trade war. And it's hit every industry very hard, trucking included, guys. So I wanted to give you guys an update with everything going on. Should you get into truck driving? And I would say, as of right now, we need to be grateful. If you have a job, whether you work at Walmart or you're a software engineer or you're in finance, be very, very thankful that you have a job in today's economy right now. The labor market is very bad. We saw the jobs data be revised down lower by 1 million jobs. It was overstated. And there are so many people that have been laid off that can't find jobs right now. So if you have a job, be very grateful that you do. And I would stay put. I wouldn't get into trucking at the moment. If you want, maybe while you're working, you can go to night class, the CDL school that I went to. If you're miserable at your job and you hate what you do, like I don't know if you guys know my story. I was an accountant and I absolutely hated it. It wouldn't be a bad idea, if you all wanted to try trucking, to go to CDL school at night. The school I went to did offer night class. I would, get my CDL, that way, but I would not quit a good job right now and try to jump ship. Now, who do I think need to get into trucking? I would highly recommend, if you're somebody who has been looking for, over a year and you can't find a job, you were laid off. I know a handful of people here in Washington who are in the tech industry. Tech has been hit the very hardest. I believe they lost around 500,000 jobs in the last few years. And you've been looking for over a year, like my friend. I've talked about him in some other videos, but he graduated from Gonzaga, and he's with a software degree, and he's been looking for a year and a half and still cannot find a job. And if you're in the same situation like that, I would definitely highly recommend looking into trucking. If you haven't found a job, you're running through your savings, maybe you're running out of unemployment, you don't really know what to do. I would look into going to CDL school. I know a lot of states, like my state, they offer grants to people they will pay for you to get your CDL. There were at least 4 or 5 people in my class who the state paid for, and you might want to look down that avenue. And once again, my heart goes out to anybody out there that can't find a job in today's economy, because it is brutal, guys. And so if you're in a tough situation, I can only talk about my experience. And my experience, I live in Washington. I live in a city that has two major ports, the Port of Tacoma and Seattle Port. They're always looking for people to drive container ships. And I know a lot of people that graduated with me in CDL school, they went right to driving for these companies that drive in and out of ports. I believe they're always hiring. And I want to talk about my experience. I can only tell you from my experience through the lens of my eyes, what I've seen. So I have been looking for a new job because with the new bill, there's going to be no tax on overtime. So I'm looking for a company that's going to give me a lot of hours. And around 3 weeks ago, I applied to 5 companies, and all 5 called me back. I went to the interviews. 4 gave me offers. The one that I really wanted, which was driving oversized things such as bulldozers and excavators. I didn't get that job, but I got 4 offers, guys. So if you're in a major city like Seattle, the job market isn't too bad. That's not bad. 4 out of 5. So from my experience, if you're looking for a job, trucking is still doing all right here where I live. So if if you can't find a job, you've been laid off and you have no other choice, try trucking out. I would highly recommend it for those people. Once again, you have to be able to interview well. You have to, I do pretty well in interviews, and I also put my best foot forward. I'm always dressed up very nice. I wear ties to every single interview. I do recall seeing, that might be, a reason why I got the job. A lot of the rumors are true. So if you think about the average trucker, a lot of the people that I run into, other truck drivers, they, don't always put their best foot forward. I'm not trying to be mean. They got, huge guts. And I remember when I was interviewing, there was a guy coming out and he had just a hat on. It was just sweat and dirt. And here I am coming in dressed very nicely. And I talk very well. So you have to interview well. Just please don't think, this guy on YouTube said, if I should get into trucking and I'm going to get a job. No, you have to interview well as well. And I would also highly recommend for those of you who are stuck at dead-end jobs, if you're in fast food, you didn't take college seriously, or you're in retail and, just barely making minimum wage, for those people, I would still highly recommend going to truck driving school and becoming a truck driver, even with the economic downturn. Those people, I would still, looking to get in trucking. I was able to get a job right out of school. I don't know how the entry-level jobs are for in the trucking industry. I know in the white-collar realm, it is very brutal for college graduates. I think I read a statistic, maybe like 20% of undergrad or recent graduates are unemployed right now. So in summary, I know I'm at a different location, guys. I, film every little break I get. I think about things to say, and then I just turn the camera on. So in summary, guys, I want to first start and say, if you have a job, I wouldn't think about jumping ship right now. Be thankful. A lot of people are looking for jobs, and it's a very tough job market right now. So if you have a job, I wouldn't. I'd stay where you're at right now and not think about getting into trucking. But if you're somebody who has, looked for a long time, and you've put in, hundreds of applications every day, and it's been a year or year and a half, like my friend that I spoke about earlier, who works at the gym, who can't find a job, I would go ahead and see if I can get my CDL and see if I can get employment that way for a little while. A CDL, you can always have that in your back pocket just in case anything happens in the future, you get laid off. We don't know what the future brings, guys. AI right now is a threat to every single industry. So a CDL would be good to have in your back pocket, because I believe that AI is a bigger threat to the white collar industry, more so as blue collar workers. I don't see robots taking over electricians and plumbers and self-driving trucks anytime soon. Also, if you love to drive and you've always wanted to be a trucker, I would still highly recommend going ahead and getting your CDL. And also, I would recommend, if you are at a dead-end job, you should always look to better your life, and trucking will open so many doors for you. You can, after you learn the ropes for a year, you can always get your hazardous materials endorsement, and that will open up so many doors for you, where you get to haul chemicals and fuel, which is a lot more money. And the thing I like about the trades, guys, is that one day you get to own your own business. And I am still looking to buy my own truck. If you're in trucking, after you get that valuable experience and learn the industry, and when the economy turns around, you can always start your own business. So, I appreciate you guys watching, and thank you guys so much for all the support. I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.